be Bitcoin, whether it be Ethereum, whether it be Solana, anything crypto, I think. Sell, 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 sell. Help me here! I can't stop!
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this video, taking a look at the flip in Bitcoin. We've also got Gary Gensler dishing up more dirt, calling Algorand a security, even though he shilled it in 2021. We're placing our bets for 420 in just 2 days time, and we're going to check in with some of the bags here on the channel as well. So if you enjoy this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment GM down below for the culture. So let's talk about the flipping that has occurred here over the last 12 hours, with Bitcoin flipping the weekly resistance now into a support officially. So we can see that this has some confluences back to the summer of 2021, that is June, July area, Bitcoin wicking down to this region, the low 29Ks. Again, we had some action here in May of 2022 before the nuke. This is kind of the lunar and then 3 hours capital blow up. And this was capping the range here. And over the last few weeks, when we come into this resistance point, this was the huge, big bearish resistance on the chart that everyone was worried about. Around 28, 29K, we couldn't break it for a while, but then we do eventually break through it. And of course, once you break through a resistance, you want to come and test it as a key support level. And that is exactly what has just happened over this past 12 hours. The blue line on the chart here was the weekly high of this week at the 27th of March. We wicked up to this, and this was a pivot point on the chart, pointed out by many, Crown included, and has shown up time and time and again as a point in which we wanted to hold in order for us to remain bullish here. And over the last 24 hours, we did have a bit of a nasty washout, a shakeout of leverage. You may have seen a lot of information regarding funding rates. Those have kind of been reset a bit here. Bitcoin came down around 29.1, 29.2, depending on your exchange. And as you can see, it has now tagged the blue line as a support and bounced from it. Now up to almost 30K here as we record on the 18th of April. So very interesting indeed. A bullish resistance flip into support at a key weekly range dating back not just to 2022 but also 2021. This is kind of bullish in my opinion. Agreed with here is Ansem as well. He says, remember when everyone was screaming how obvious the summer lows resistance was on the Bitcoin chart? That was just last week. Everyone's saying, look, it's going to be very hard for Bitcoin to break through that resistance. Well, now we've just tested those as a support from the top side, i.e. driving down, hitting it as a support and bouncing from there. And now it's all hush hush on the timeline. You're starting to see the bears take smaller victory laps. The 1-2% down moves getting a bit of a show of force from the big bears on crypto Twitter, but then they go back into hibernation as we move back away into the 30K region here. Another flipping to be aware of here was quite interesting. Mark Harvey posted this one. Bitcoin continues to flip the world's largest companies, and it has now positioned itself as number 8 here. Market cap just under $600 billion, and that puts it just above Tesla in position number 8. So we flipped Tesla just over the last night. And now sights on here for Bitcoin, Nvidia, Berkshire Hathaway, Amazon, Alphabet, Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, and of course Apple up there at $2.5 trillion in market capitalization. And another really interesting chart here is essentially the net liquidity around the world. Looking at all these central banks, you can see from the tickers up here, Japan, Europe, US, etc. And showing that during this global liquidity cycle, we had a huge downturn in global liquidity throughout 2022, but it bottoms around here, and Bitcoin, then the amber line here, bottoms slightly after. So this calling into play that the bottom is in, and the fact that global liquidity is once again via this white line increasing. We're seeing money printers being turned on in the East primarily. Japan forgot to turn the damn thing off generally. And so as global liquidity is increasing, BTC price as a function of that is increasing as well. So a key indicator to keep an eye on. And if this uptrend does continue for global liquidity, it's likely that Bitcoin's price action continues in the bullish posturing. Now over to Clown World Daily. So this just in from the SEC yesterday, maybe one of the reasons why the market was dipping, although the news often just follows the price action, but it was this coming from the SEC. They're citing OMG, that's Amise Go, Dash, Algorand, TKN, NGC, IHT, not even sure what some of those tickers are, as securities traded on Bittrex in their complaint. So they're saying that these are unregistered securities. They went after Bittrex. Bittrex has closed up shop in the US, but notably on here we have, of course, Algorand. So who was shilling Algorand back in the year 2021 via this presentation? It was none other than Gary Gensler, now head of the SEC. So pretty strange that he was promoting this, or essentially saying it was good tech back in 21, but now it's an unregistered security. Let's listen in.
Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has the performance. You could create Uber on top of it.
So good you can build Uber on top of Algorand, states Gary Gensler. Is he therefore shilling an unregistered security at the top at a price of around $2, and it's now at 20 cents? Comment down below, what do you think we should do with Gensler? Then of course attention turns to 420, that magical day where we all get stoned, maybe rip the bong, do a few dabs, smoke a J, whatever you want to call it. That is coming on this Thursday, and of course the meme maestro, Mr. Elon Musk, has his rocket going to space on 420, April 20th, 2023. This from SpaceX. Teams are working towards Thursday, the April 20th date for our first flight test of a fully integrated Starship and super heavy rocket. Look at the size on his rocket here. Incredible stuff. So traders' attention now goes towards what is potentially going to pump here. We have a rocket going into space from Elon, the meme master. Does this mean we're going to potentially get some bullish price action here from Dogecoin? And if we just pull up the Dogecoin chart over the last 6 months, this is the kind of range here below 10 cents. It has spent quite a lot of time in this range. That 14 to 12 cents, this kind of region, is where we had the FTX blow up. Surely if we are going to break out of this kind of 10 cents region, we can come and test these kind of areas if we do get some form of catalyst from Elon at 420. I just feel like for the culture, we're going to get something happen. And why the heck would Doge not be pumping on 420? You have to ask yourself that question. So thinking slightly outside the box there, but I do think Doge probably runs here over the next few days, at least into 420. Now update here on the bags, Blur being one of them. So this one has a very nice looking chart. It's up to 82 cents today. Now this one is not yet listed on Binance. So I would love to see a Binance listing come here very soon for the Blur token. Of course, it is on other big exchanges, including Coinbase, and it has one of the best looking charts in crypto land. If we just pull it up here, you can see that this kind of region at 72 cents. So across here, so this is from the 4th of March, the consolidation zone, it broke out, came down, performed a perfect retest, and is starting to send once again. This fulfills numerous criteria for me. It's a new coin, no salty bag holders. 2, it was also an airdrop token as well. So people's price cost basis on this was very low. A lot of people sold their coins. There's some big wicks on here. And typically what you see if you look on chain for these things is that the Blur token gets slurped up by big whales. The plebs, the normies who got maybe a few thousand tokens airdrop to them, they sell at the lows, and it's almost a very similar playbook to that of Arbitrum. Whales slip the dip, it starts to break out, perfect retest there at around 72 cents, and now it's in full launch mode yet again. Arbitrum is at all-time highs at this moment in time, and it looks like we're running it back turbo, the same playbook here for Blur. You're also seeing the likes of ID kind of top here. People are going to start rotating their profits into the sexy looking coins, the ones that have shown out performance and strength here, and it looks like that is what is happening on the chart here. So my kind of target for this up to the 120 kind of region, but this could well be an all-time high one to really keep your eyes on. So that is the Blur token. Don't want to hold this thing forever, however, as they have 6.5% of the total supply coming online in just 57 days, Breakdown on screen there, past and future core contributors getting 115 million tokens, that's quite a lot. Investors, 75 million tokens, and advisors, 4 million tokens. So yeah, there's probably a dump coming, but that is on the 14th of June. So plenty of time to play ball now, while this is fairly low float. Then an update here on KWENTA. We did a video overview on it yesterday, and this is slowly playing out. So this one is an on-chain one, so you need to buy it either on Optimism via Uniswap or Velodrome Finance is the key marketplace for this. You do get quite a lot of fluctuations in price due to the fact it's an on-chain traded coin. However, let's just jump into this. OP rewards now confirmed as of Yesterday, the April 19th, i.e. this Wednesday, is going to be the OP rewards, the emissions, the incentives coming to KWENTA traders and stakers. So exactly as predicted, in yesterday's video, we were saying this is going to come out likely this Wednesday, which it is now confirmed, and this will drive a lot of trading onto the KWENTA perps DEX. And with that as well, with all these OP emissions, over 4 million tokens, that's like a notional value of like $10 million. There's plenty of incentives and reasons for traders to start trading on top of KWENTA. So I do think this one has the bullish catalyst starting from tomorrow. And as we go over to the chart here for KWENTA, it paints its own picture. It's telling you, look, something big, something bullish is on the horizon, coming up, testing towards all-time highs, just under 800 bucks here over the last 48 hours. You can see from the wicks to the downside, this means people were stepping in saying this is too cheap, let's bid it back up. The dips are getting slurped, and there is good reason to hold the KWENTA token and stake it during this next 20-week period with these OP incentives. Check out yesterday's video, I'll leave it on screen at the end of this video if you want to learn a little bit more, a little bit of alpha around this and how I spotted it, as I think this is a big narrative currently under development and not everyone is talking about this one just yet. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Comment me GM down below for the culture, say good morning, let's get the vibes rolling here, and let's build ourselves a nice enthusiastic community going into the year 2024 where we can print those dollarinos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.